What's up, YouTube? This is ByStanX79, guys. Today I'm coming to you with another 2020 creative card and project analysis video. We're going to be looking at the winners of the previous two matches, Fortune Ladies as Frogs, as well as the current ongoing match, Sylvans versus Cyber Angels, and the upcoming match for this weekend, Lightsworn versus Dynamist. So, we got a lot to cover, so we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to start off with Frogs. Frogs have been around since Cybernetic Revolution, which, if memory serves me correctly, was the second core booster set in the GX era. So yeah, they've been around for a while. Not only that, but in 2010, a Frog FTK deck did manage to win the World Championships, which is actually pretty damn cool. So it does have tournament backing. However, because it was an FTK deck, and it was very easy to set up and pull off, the very next month after the 2010 World Championships, the key card in FTK Substitute was banned, and it remains banned. Since then, Frogs have kind of lived on as an engine to be utilized in decks, whether it be Frog Monarchs, which if you watch my channel, you know I play. It's been utilized in Paleozoic Frogs as well as in Marinicus Frogs, which is actually very awesome. To be very honest, looking over the Frogs, I don't see the deck being playable unless we get Swap Frog back, and that's not going to happen with the fact that it can inspire FTKs. So, from moving forward, I think probably addressing the issue of giving the engine more consistent would probably be the best way. Being able to search out a Frog monster that you need to get your engine going is definitely going to be what the deck needs. And maybe adding an extra engrave effect, which can actually provide additional protection to your Frog monsters while they're on the board, could also provide an extra layer of something that can actually be useful for the engine. Consistency and protection built into one is definitely a way I can see Konami helping out this particular engine. It would definitely help out the decks the engine are in, and I would love to see a card like that, a spell card like that. Now moving forward, Fortune Ladies, 5 Days Era card archetype. To be very honest, in the last couple of years they've received the Fortune Fairies cards to help to get deck a little bit started better. But ultimately, Fortune Ladies, running them sure, it's more of a swarm deck. You can see the combo right here. Basically, you use Fortune Lady, Light, and Dark, while Fortune Future Visions, basically Fortune Lady Light with Future Visions, special summon out Fortune Lady Dark, and then from there, using Dark and Lady Light's effects, you can special summon Water, which can draw more cards, so the deck has draw power and consistency. You have Earth and Fire, which can basically do burn damage or help get troublesome monsters off the field. Getting another Lady Dark can actually help get the combo going even further. So, yes, and Future Fusions is definitely a field spell not to be glanced over. You normal summon a monster, that monster is banished off the field, and then the player controlling Future Visions can actually then replace it with another copy, which will lock out your opponent from actually being able to do anything or retrieving that monster back, which is actually very nasty in itself. To be honest, what the deck needs, I know the deck just recently incorporated Synchros into its extra deck, and to be honest, another Synchro or even a Link Monster that can actually basically negate monster effects, spell effect, or trap effects would be the best way to do it, because this deck can be very easily shut down with the interruptions that are out there, whether it be Forbidden Chalice or even Infinite Permanence. Just shutting down monster effects when you need them. Goes and Match is poison for this deck, primarily because the archetype is full of different attributes, and locking yourself into one particular attribute does hurt the deck. And also you can see monster effects that can go after monsters whose attack points are different from their original attack points, yeah, it can definitely also cause problems as well. So there's a lot of different ways to shut down this deck, and just having that one synchro or link monster that can negate effects can definitely pay off in the long run for this particular archetype. Now moving into the current match, Sylvans versus Cyber Angels, and it is a link. It is a not a link. It's a rituals based deck, the only ritual based deck in this particular created card project. We've seen Electus Rolls use this archetype in the GX and Arc V series, and to be very honest, Konami was very loyal to how the deck appeared in the anime. The cards, when they were translated into physical cards, kept the same stat lines, they kept the same effects. The deck is very consistent, but there is weaknesses. The deck is very reliant on having to summon monsters to search out your ritual spells or monsters. And to be honest, that can be very a glaring weakness, primarily because if the normal summon is negated, you're not getting the searches, or if your opponent responds to the normal summons of effects of Manjo of the 10,000 Hands or Petite or Egg Angel, they're going to be able to stop your searches and being able to gain access to the cards you need. So I would think maybe a spell card that can search out ritual spells or traps for this particular archetype would be the best idea, just to be able to give this archetype a little bit more consistency for the boost. Now coming over here with Sylvans. Sylvans was a very interesting set archetype that was released, of course, the last two core booster sets of the Zexal era. Basically, this archetype introduced excavating, which means you reveal X number of cards from the top of your deck, and then you can send any excavated plant monsters to the graveyard, and then you get those plant monsters the effects that were activated, which is actually pretty cool. There were a lot of different Sylvans released, and they can do a lot of different things. But the key thing about the Sylvan archetype is utilizing Sylvan Charity or Mount Sylvania or even Hermitry to basically rearranging the order of the cards of your deck so you can get the best excavation, so you can get the necessary mills you need to get going. To be honest, I know they do have the 3 cards right now. One more monster, I think, that could actually be sent to the graveyard or excavated to the graveyard would definitely help the deck out. I mean, just to be able to get those perfect mills is something you need. And in my opinion, that's the way Konami should be taking it. Speaking of milling, we're going to be going on to the matchup for this weekend, which is Lightsworn versus Dynamis. Lightsworn been around since the end of the GX era, and the deck has seen competitive success, whether it be a pure version of the deck or being utilized as an engine in Chaos or even Zombie decks. Anytime you get a very grave-centric deck, Lightsworn is almost automatically thought of as an engine to help get your necessary cards into your graveyard. To be honest, I have a very hard time finding a way to really improve on this particular archetype. I know the last support they got was the Twilight Swarm, which were basically the dark versions of all the Lightsworn monsters we've already have. To be honest, since they banished Lightsworn monsters from the graveyard, it kind of goes against being able to special summon out their boss monster, Judgment Dragon. And I know that can be very hard on the deck because you don't want to be removing resources from your graveyard because of that. Be that as it may, the deck still sees play online. It could be very strong rogue. I know it could be stopped with Ash Blossom, but still, stopping a mill of one monster when you have multiple Lightsworn monsters on the board really doesn't do much. I guess in the same line as Sylvan, you could say maybe possibly looking at the top cards of your deck to basically set up the mills would probably help the deck out a little bit. That would probably be the best card to create. Maybe a Link Monster. I think they already have one though. So, but to be honest, I really don't think it's necessary for this particular archetype to get any more support. I mean, these are the three corpuses that were released, but if you look at how many reprints they've gotten, yeah, they've gotten way a lot of support and reprints. So it's pretty easy to build the Lightsworn engine, and cheap. So I just don't see the need for more support. I really don't. I know it's sad, but the deck can operate very well. It's just that it's been outdated. So I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it should get some more support." Not really. I mean, I know Konami with the Phantom Rage set, they're going to be on the whole mashing two archetypes together type of kick. So maybe they might release more support cards that can help unite Twilight Sworn with the Light Sworn and make it a little bit better. Maybe mitigate the banishing cost of the Twilight Sworns, but still, I just don't see the need. Dynamist and another, this is a deck that has come close to being very competitive. It was eliminated on the bubble of YCS Pittsburgh. And since then, it kind of actually did pick up a lot of interest, and people were playing around with it afterwards for the rest of 2018. I know it does still see a lot more interest as one of the better archetypes because of both the attribute and its typing. Attribute is a water, and typing is machine. So there's a lot of different art support you can utilize in this particular deck. And to be very honest, this deck just needs that little extra kick to become meta relevant. And since Pendulum Monsters, I know Pendulum decks are kind of controversial because they have how they kind of warped the game. But to be honest, since Pendulums now are related and rely mostly on links, having archetype-specific link monsters that only work within the archetype probably would be the best way to go. And Dynamists, to me, would be the best candidate because you can get two Dynamist link monsters and actually make them the first Dynamist link Pendulum hybrids. Yeah, I know. It kind of be weird, but still, the Dynamists have set scales. Scale 3, and in fact, we can actually come down here and read off the scale. Scale 3's, basically, if another Dynamist card or card is what you control be destroyed by battle card effect, you can destroy this card and set it. And then the scale 3 is before resolving a card effect that targets another Dynamist card you control, you can negate the effect, then destroy this card. Very cool things. I mean, if you get Link Monsters with those scale effects and the ability to replace the scales that are destroyed by other card effects, it does make sense. The other thing would probably be having monster effects that could potentially boost other card effects that are available, like Dynamist Charge being able to actually return all Dynamist monsters that are sent to the graveyard back to the actual deck back to your hand, which would actually be cool. So yeah, I mean, two Link Monsters, a Link 2 and a Link 3, both requiring Dynamist Monster as their materials. Definitely something I would like to see happen for the Dynamists. Make them Pendulum Monsters as well. The deck is even better as you can replace the scales and keep the scales up as you go along. Definitely the way, in my opinion, definitely the support the deck needs moving forward. And in my opinion, I hope it does win just so we have the representation of Pendulum decks further in this created card contest. I know it's kind of weird that Konami only picked one Pendulum deck and one Ritual deck, but hey, it is what it is. And to be honest, hopefully I get to see some of the archetypes move forward and they get closer to getting the support that they need to be better. Guys, that is it for my analysis for the 2020 card project. I hope you guys enjoy this brief little series. I know I'm enjoying this particular project. I hope pretty much all the art types at some point do get support down the road, just to be able to see these art types updated. I mean, it will bring, I know, a lot of fans a lot of joy to see their favorite art types get the love and support they need. As always, guys, support the contest. I'll have the link down to the Facebook page or the Twitter page for Konami, so you guys can go vote there and be able to get your art types into the next round. As always, guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe, enable notifications so you don't miss any uploads. Check out the description box below. Find the links to my affiliates, TCGplayer.com, as well as SideDeckVersus.com. Great resources for any Yu-Gi-Oh player. Follow me on social media, and if you guys want to help grow my community to even greater heights, the invite link to my Discord server is in the description box below. Join the conversation. We'll love to have you. Until next time, guys, as always, peace.